Y'all, it's your girl, Miss Trina with Chat with Trina, and I want to thank you for making the choice to click in. Today, I am chatting it up with my good friend, Mr. Geno Spears, straight out of the DFW. He is an original, legendary Chicago stepping instructor and dancer. Hey, everybody. It is your girl, Miss Trina with Chat with Trina, and I want to thank you for making the choice to click in. And oh my gosh, first of all, he showed up, and I'm so excited. He's a man of his word. My friend, Mr. Geno Spears, the legendary Chicago stepper, who actually was actually my very first Chicago stepping teacher. And I know y'all, I don't really do it. I get out do enough, but he taught me the little steps I do know.
That's good.
Hey, Geno, how you doing, hon?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Thank you so much for agreeing to meet with me today. I'm really excited.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna make it easy for you. We just gonna be chatting it up about some things. Of course, I'll ask you questions, but we're just gonna be chatting it up about stuff.
Okay.
Mainly dancing, of course.
Okay.
So, is Geno Spears your real name?
Actually, that is my nickname, Geno.
Okay. Can we know your real name?
Absolutely. Eugene Spears II.
Okay. I always wondered was Geno Spears. That sounds too catchy for your parents to really think. You know, parents don't be thinking of catchy names.
Well, Geno's my nickname. I mean, short for Eugene.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Hi, Lorenzo. Lorenzo says, hey, my brother.
Hello, Lorenzo.
Where are you from, Geno?
I'm from the west side of Chicago.
Oh, so you really are from Chicago.
I was born and raised in Chicago, and then moved to Oklahoma when my mother passed. That's where my mother is from.
Okay. Were you young when your mom passed, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, I was very young when she passed. And she's from a town called Lawton, Oklahoma. You ever heard of that?
No. Mm-mm.
Lawton is a military town. One of the largest military bases is in Lawton, called Fort Sill.
Okay.
And that's where my mother is from. My father was in the military. He met my mom and took her back to Chicago, and that's where we were born.
Oh, you have any brothers and sisters?
I have 4 sisters.
Okay. Do they dance?
One of them halfway dance. One of them is deceased, and the other 2 can't even keep a beat.
I thought if you could count, you could dance. That ain't always true, huh?
Well, that is absolutely correct. We're gonna say that. That's right.
Yeah. They just didn't really want to. They never got into it.
No, they never got into it like I did.
Okay. You mind me asking if you have any children? I know that I saw a baby.
Absolutely. No, I don't mind. I have 2 beautiful children.
Yes.
I have a daughter named Gianni, and she's a first year in college, and she's making daddy proud. She just got the dean's list.
Awesome.
For a 3.5 over within biology. So daddy's proud.
Yes.
And
definitely.
then I have a namesake. He's 9.
I think that may be what I saw on Facebook. Saw him on Facebook.
Yep. He's my namesake.
Okay.
Eugene III, little Geno.
Little Geno.
Well, actually depends on where we go. He would be little Geno, because I'm little Geno. Okay. And my father was big Geno.
Okay, little Geno. That's cute. So he's actually a third.
Yeah, he's the 3rd.
Okay, he is a 3rd. Mm-hmm. Well, I do want to shout out your daughter, because I get so many students. I'm in education. I get so many students as they go in for biology. Mm-hmm. And as soon as they take the first freshman biology class, they done with it.
Yeah,
so shout out to her, Gianni.
Yeah, she got 3.35. 3.55. She got a dean's list.
That is really good. Proud.
I am.
When did you start? What made you start dancing?
I'm actually a 3rd generation dancer.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, it wasn't Chicago stepping, but it was a form of stepping.
Mm-hmm.
It was the bop. So my father was a dancer. My grandmother was a dancer. So it kind of came to me. My father, I have a lot of his personality. So he just danced, and I used to watch him dance and go hang out with my dad, watch him, and just kind of fell to it. That's how I was introduced and started. I really didn't get into it until after I moved from Houston. I don't even know if you know, I used to live in Houston.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I lived in Houston. One of my sisters lived in Sugar Land today.
Oh, is that the relative you'll come visit sometimes when you're in?
Correct. I'll go visit that. So when I was training to do professional sports, I used to live in Houston. So I was training in Houston, and I left Houston about 91, 92.
Okay.
And moved back home to Chicago.
Training for what sport?
I was a professional track and field guy.
Really? Okay. What was your race?
Event? The 400.
400. Oh yeah. Okay. I was the long distance runner. I was the 2 mile and the mile.
No, I don't know nothing about that. I'll pass out. Yeah, I'll pass out for that.
I started the track meet and I ended the track meet. Everybody was getting ready to go home. I was out there running my mile. Well, right before the 4x1, for the 4x1 relay. That's the only reason they would stay for my race. So I did not know that.
Yeah, I ran the 400, 4x4, and the 4x1.
Okay, so you were fast.
I was at one time.
And when is the last time you tried to run a race?
You about to make me cuss. Don't do that. So when I left Chicago, I moved to Oklahoma. Finished out, went to Oklahoma, played sports, graduated, left there to pursue an athletic career. Tried out for the Olympics, Olympic trials, did that. Wasn't good enough, but, after I did that and stayed in Houston for a while, then I moved back to Chicago in 91, 92. And stayed there until my job moved me to Houston. Like, have you ever heard of AIM Management?
Say it again.
AIM Management.
I don't think so.
It's right behind it's a financial institution. It was right behind the Summit.
Oh, okay.
I'm a consultant engineer. I design software for the medical and financial industry. So it moved me to Houston, had a big contract there for about a year, year and a half. And then it took me to Dallas. And for some reason, I just decided to stay in Dallas. Had no reason to.
What college did you graduate, if you don't mind me asking?
University of Central Oklahoma.
Okay. Did you ever do swing out?
I got 5 moves. That's it.
That's all you gonna get. That's all you got for us.
You gonna get the best of me with the 5 moves. Now I don't know how the best of that me really is. I mean, because there are some fabulous swing out dancers in the Houston area. I mean, Liddell used to, that comes to mind. Yeah. Liddell was there. I remember from Pure, if you want to call it DFW swing out. There were a few other guys that I remember. There was some fabulous swing out dancers there. So I got 5 moves. And I'm gonna give it to you the 5 sequence, and then I'm gonna start over and I'm gonna do it again.
So what? Chicago in Dallas. How did that happen?
Well, when you say how did it happen, you mean how did I start teaching?
Yeah, stepping? I mean, were they Chicago stepping in Dallas at all? Like,
no, I'm the pioneer. I'm the one that actually brought stepping to Texas and Oklahoma. They weren't. From a class standpoint, an event, there was no one doing it.
Yeah.
And tell you a funny quick story. When I was doing a contract for American Airlines, someone told me there was this place called Steppers in Arlington. I'm like, okay, Steppers, stepping. Okay, they getting it in. Okay. So, if you know anything about stepping, I went to the hotel, I got clean, best I thought, and went in there. And I was like, and
what they doing?
that was the first time I was exposed to swing out. And, obviously, there's a difference in the dance.
Yeah.
And I was, it's like culture shock.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. There were a lot of attractive people there, men and ladies. They were looking good. They were nicely dressed. They were doing their thing. A lot of beautiful ladies, but it just, the music didn't match. Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, what did I get myself into moving to Dallas?
That is funny.
So at that point in 99, when I left AIM management in Houston and came to Dallas, that's when I decided to start teaching stepping in Texas.
Gotcha.
And that's pretty much how I started, 98, 99.
Now in Houston, I know it took, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's just not like really taking off. So in Dallas, did you have any I know in Dallas too, they're doing it more so now, but did you have a lot of resistance? And I'm saying that not to be negative, because that's always with any new dance that comes up, there's always some type of resistance. How did you overcome that?
In the past, I deflected this question before because I get it a lot, and I've had to learn to embrace it. If there was something I could have changed, because a lot of people really don't know the core. They know Geno, they know the maestro, but they don't know Eugene. They don't know the father. They don't know the entrepreneur. They don't know the engineer. They don't know the investor. They don't know any of those things. If I could have changed one thing, I wouldn't have came in so hard. Meaning, I'm a dancer. So when I came in, I want to dance. Yeah. I'm young. I'm vibrant. At that time, I didn't have any kids. So, I was out 9 days a week.
Right.
I'm
trying to tell these youngsters we used to have someone to dance every day.
So, it started with one person. Literally. Started with two. And then I caught the attention of Michael Baston, the radio personality. He's from Chicago. Okay. So I started teaching Michael Baston.
Wow.
He would come. So when you say the resentment, I don't think it was resentment from others. I think it was just lack of understanding on my part and others' part. Here's this guy coming in, doing something new. Right. Because believe it or not, kind of going back to your question, when I was coming down to Houston to teach, there may be maybe about 2 or 3 girls who are currently dancing that were taking classes, but not one of those guys who are dancing today was even trying to do Chicago stepping. They were for conversation purposes, they were very influential in the Houston two-step community. They were very influential in swing out. And to be honest, they were very good at it. So they didn't have the need to learn Chicago stepping. They didn't give a damn about no Chicago stepping. I was able to get 2 or 3 ladies. Yeah. And and they kind of grabbed onto it. They loved it. And, that's where, some of the things kind of change a little bit. People just see something different, and then different doesn't necessarily constitute negative. I mean, that's what it is. That's in society today. Black, white.
Even in the workplace,
In the workplace. So that's really how it started. So me being, what people don't know, a former athlete, I'm competitive. I'm coming in. I'm a dance hard. I'm a dance 100 times, and if you come next to me and you thinking you dancing, I'm finna show you what dancing look like. So, so if I could have done it over again, I may not have been as hard. I may have put myself in the dance community more. Maybe try to learn Houston two-step more, and then go out. So,
Okay, but that's fair. That's fair. How are you excited that so many places have picked it up now, though, and have embraced it?
I'm excited times 10. I'm glad I'm seeing a lot of people. That was one of the reasons why I agreed to come on your show. Is a lot of people don't know history.
Yeah,
I see them dancing. I came down to Houston maybe about 4 months ago. I forget what event it was. I think I just popped in. I didn't tell nobody I was coming. I was sitting there. I was watching them step. And a lady said, "Man, you look nice. Can you step?" I said, "I can do a little bit." She didn't know.
Yeah.
So I went out there and got her to dance. And then as I got out, people were looking like, "Oh, Geno, you know," and she looking like, "Oh, y'all know who this guy is?" And next thing I know, she dancing. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I did not know." So that's one of the reasons why I accepted your offer to come on. People really don't know I am the person that brought this dance to Texas.
I didn't want to say that earlier when I mentioned that. I said that, and I know that your feelings would have been hurt, but it's just me didn't want to say it. That we're talking about sometimes stepping. I'll say, yeah, well, because Geno, and it's like, Geno? I said, no, Geno was one of the first people that came here because he's the one I used to take his workshops, because he used to come down here regularly to make, in what I thought, to make sure that Chicago Stepping, had its opportunity to take off.
That's a very sagacious word to use. I mean, pretty much I brought it down there, worked, again, like I said, it's a job, and I do have a career. And, I started growing up and started having a child, had my little baby girl. So, I wasn't, I'm actually a full-time father. People don't know. I mean, I have my kids, take care of my kids. I'm a daddy. So, so I had to slow down, and y'all have a lot of great instructors there now. You have the music, you have some great dancers there, but I'm still the first. So, that's just what it is.
And, I tell that too, and I don't want to keep using the word youngsters. My kids say that, and my kids are 26 and 30, and they say, "Mama, y'all not quit calling us youngsters. That ain't it." So young people, I mentioned that to them, that we can't forget about history. You can't go forward if you don't know what happened before. And it's always important to me that we do know, and that man on man.
Man on man. Okay.
Talk to us about, we have a little, we have some little, I don't know what the word would be, but I'm sure you've heard it before, that people are afraid of it, I guess you want to call it. Talk to us about the history of man on man.
Well, in short, because, that would take a lot of time to give you the history. But in short, the shorter bridge version is the dance comes from the inner city. This dance was an inner city dance. And the best scenario I can give you that you probably can relate to is, think about when we were watching breakdancing, from New York, right? So you would see this group battle this group, and they'll go dance against each other, right? That's man on man in Chicago stepping. You get this neighborhood or this block battling against this block. This person from 39th Street, they could have been in any kind of job description that's related to the streets,
right?
Whatever that job description was. And
no judgment.
Yes, no judgment. And they'll battle each other. And that was the only time that there was, quote unquote, no problems. Now, after that, after that set was over, and the next day, okay, you better not bring your butt over there until the next week. You go back. So that was man on man. That's the abridged version of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's how you start. So when you see people doing man on man, it comes from the history of that's how it did. There were not women in the initial part of the dance.
But true fact, it has nothing to do with sexuality, that stuff.
Oh, absolutely not. Some of the hardest people you can ever think of were doing man on man.
Yeah.
A man's man doing man on man.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Somebody that's like, no, I'm all man, don't have nothing to do.
All man.
All man.
That's why I gave you the example of breakdance.
Why do you think? We know you started it. It took off, a little bit here in Houston. But why do you think, or what is your opinion about why it has taken off so much now? Do you have a thought to that?
Because it's left the city of Chicago. Chicago will always own the dance. But now that you have YouTube, your show, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, they don't have to call Geno Spears to say, hey, I want to learn this dance. They can call John, who used to Houston two-step for 20 years, and he just learned how to step, and they can go call him, and he can watch all the videos in the world, and then he can go catch his friends and teach dancing. And I'm okay with that person because that's how you grow.
That's how it grows.
You can't grow always with a definitive way of trying to get it done. Now at some point it has to stop if you want to improve your dance. But as far as starting out, doing things, I am 100% okay.
Which is another thing. So on swing out, and mainly swing out, there's sometimes an issue with what I call seasoned saints, is what I call them, with us adding a little, people adding a little bit of here and there, a little flair. Does Chicago step and have that issue? Because you guys always add a little flair, a little something, something. So are y'all okay with that? Does it change your dance? Have your dance changed at all?
That's a really good question. I mean, it's both the same, really, when you look at it. You have, I use the word style. People have different styles. You have some guys that like to turn. You have some guys that got old school. They may do one turn and a kick, and they're going to stay in front. Me, I like to do a little more dancing. I like to romance a little bit more. I want to bring you in. I want to do all those other things, match my personality. So you have different styles. So you may go to one instructor and this instructor's style may be totally against the other person's style as in form of teaching. So, this student doesn't have that style. So, now that's where the variance comes in at. And, when you go to Chicago, you're going to get 100 different styles.
Oh, really?
When you go to Houston, you may get
some of that.
3.
Okay.
Because of the instructors y'all have there, each one of them have different, unique, credited styles.
Okay.
So you got 3 different, as opposed to the 30 or 40 or 50 in Chicago.
Right.
If that makes sense to you.
It does. And I'm gonna go backwards a little bit. So teaching Chicago stepping, back in the day, there was no such thing as teaching Houston two-step.
Gotcha.
Went out and you learned it. So when you were growing up or doing your thing in Chicago, was there a such thing as classes back then?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You just kind of learn, again, the evolution of technology. So if I wanted to learn a move, if I saw and I wanted to improve my dance, if I wanted to, just say for conversation purposes, if I wanted to dance with Trina, and I know Trina not gonna dance with me, I had to go to the club and sit in the back and just kind of peek and watch that guy do that move so I can learn. Now, what you got to do is jump on YouTube and you can learn in 3 minutes. You go figure it out.
You gonna figure it out. Well, you know what? I must really be old because I try looking at YouTube for stuff like that. I need to be in a class. Somebody got to teach me something. I can encourage the students that you've had. Have you encouraged them to compete?
Yes.
Okay.
I've had several of my students that I've used to teach have been in the world's largest and have won in certain categories in place. So I, my teachings is going pretty good with certain people.
Good. Do you think it's important to compete? Because some may argue that competition causes a separation.
Oh, Trina, you should have sent me your list of questions so I can review.
That just came off the top of my head, to be honest.
No, I'm just messing with you. No, see, now you're speaking to an athlete. And, to me, there's nothing wrong with competition. It has to be good competition. When I used to run against somebody, and I beat them, and I go run against somebody else and I get beat bad, I know what I had to do to improve. And if I never got to beat nobody, I just accepted that I wasn't good enough. I think that's where the underlying issue come in at. Sometimes you just ain't gonna be good enough to beat who you're trying to beat, and you gotta accept it. And now you're talking about personality. Now you're referring to certain things because some people never been in that position to be competitive, and especially doing a social fun dance.
Yeah,
I mean, this is fun. So now I want to come out on the dance floor and I want to compete. I think that's where people like yourself having these shows and other ones, education and dialogue helps people understand. For me, competition is 100% okay. It's how you accept your defeats are the problem. Sometimes people ain't ready to be in competition either.
That too. Yeah.
Now, see, you're speaking different layers at that point. I mean, sometimes you just ain't ready and you maybe should wait a year, but you want to get in, and once you in, you open yourself for conversation from everybody watching,
critique and all of that stuff.
Yes,
good and bad,
and good, bad, and ugly. That's what I like to say.
And you have to be prepared for that too.
Yes.
So as an instructor, did you do that with your students to say, hey, I don't know, prepare them mentally for that part? Do you think that's a job of an instructor? Very
much so.
Okay.
Certain people have the skill set. Some people don't have the skill set. Some people came to me saying they want to get in a contest, and I didn't necessarily say no, but maybe try to figure out what contest you want to get in. Are you trying to get in a contest that's going to be at the Red Rooster on a Tuesday where ain't nobody there? Okay, we go. That one may be all right.
Right.
But getting in the contest of Red Rooster, if my dialect is correct, on a Sunday when everybody's there, no, you ain't ready for that crap. There's a difference.
There is a difference, and I think that instructors should be honest and not set their students up for failure.
Absolutely.
The point to that was, I just think that instructors should be honest and transparent, and maybe say, I think you're doing really great, but you just started 6 months ago, so let's give it a year.
I think sometimes students don't want to hear that they're not ready. And somebody else may say, yeah, come on, I can help you. Let me, Geno ain't ready for you to do this. I can show you how to get this done. And that person decides to go. That has happened to me. And you have to
be okay with it.
Be okay with it.
Yeah, I get that. What is the most rewarding thing to you about teaching dance, Chicago stepping?
One is watching the elevation of somebody, kind of having videos and seeing them start. And then you look at them today and you're like, boy, that's all right. That looks good. So that makes you good because you see that they've grown to the capacity where, they're able to hold their own and then now teach. I kind of indirectly teach people to be teachers and good dancers.
Okay.
So although I'm not trying to, but if you understand my curriculum, because I have a curriculum, I don't go in, okay, well, I'm gonna teach this today and then I'm doing something totally different. I do have a process.
Okay.
And if you follow my curriculum, your process, I'm really setting you up to be self-sufficient yourself. That's really what I enjoy out of it, watching the people grow. Second, meeting great people like yourself. I wouldn't have ever met you, Trina. You meet people, you find out certain things that they do, what they don't do. Like I asked somebody the other day, what's the lady that lives in Houston that used to do the spotlight dance?
Oh, I know, Charlene.
Is that her? I haven't seen, meeting people like that. Charlene just dancing. She was a sweetheart trying to do that spotlight dance. That was a nice event.
Definitely was.
I ain't seen her in 10 years.
I only see her because we on LinkedIn together. So I saw
her
the day on LinkedIn.
just meeting great people like that. Because I still have conversation with her relatives. So, he's the guys with same old two-step. Yeah. Okay. Those are, I think one of them is related to her.
I think I remember that from back then. That's when I found that out. Okay. Yes. Okay. I forgot
so, yep. I've been invited to come down to Houston. I'm going to come down and
you gonna come by and let us know you here next time?
I'm going to come down and I'm going to do a workshop. And I'm going to do a mega workshop. And I'm going to put it on and I'm going to put you on blast. I'm going to say, hey, see this lady over here? She started in 2009 and we finna make her do these drills.
Oh, gosh.
And so y'all get her out there. So, yes, I've been requested.
Look, don't make me embarrass you, Geno, and be like, wait a minute, that's what she learned from you.
No, I know that deep little voice can come out of you and you're going to handle up. So I know you can handle it. I know ain't nothing I'm gonna help you because I know you know how to handle your business.
Oh, so I know I do. With that. Yeah, that's why I'm one of the most hated people in the world in the dance community, I guess, because I can't. It's all good though.
You
understand? My daughter always
say
you ain't doing something right if everybody like you. Ask you this.
Yes.
What is the most challenging about being Chicago stepping instructor or instructor general for dance?
For Chicago stepping, the biggest challenge for me is, and I'm saying this from a business side, because the dance is not accredited, you have multiple avenues for learning this dance. And therefore, multiple attitudes sometimes is a division of the dance. If it had an accredited nature to it, and you did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that's what you learn, and then afterwards they're learning Geno's studio, the maestro. Now there's a separation. There is true, authentic, accredited Chicago stepping. If you go through this course and you do this, you're going to get the same language. Yeah. You're going to get the same instructions. Yeah. Wherever you go, now you take it further. Okay, well, I want to see how Geno do that move. I want to learn how Geno romances the dance. Now you go into the maestro. That's different. And that reflects back to the original question you asked me about swing out. If it had, yep, so that's really it.
Yeah, okay.
That's the most difficult part about this dance.
Yeah, and I think now you say that other dances as well. I have a lot of ladies, they pay for dance, they pay for these dance classes, then they go to these events and they can't get one dance. Do you think that dance instructors are obligated? Yes, I said obligated to dance with their students.
If you're Geno Spears, I'm sorry, that was the day. If you're Geno Spears and you go into the maestro class, it is my obligation to dance with you. That's what I do.
Right.
I don't
push that on anyone else.
I don't push that on anybody else. I just have a format, I have a vision. And I think that's what keeps me on top of the game 25 years later.
Okay. I like that.
I mean, now I do make it a difference to, like, if I go somewhere, I kind of giving people an indicator I'm not ready to dance. If you see Geno and he's in the back corner of the room,
he's just chilling
with some water and chips, don't come ask me to dance. That's my way of backing off. But if you see me up front, I do not mind dancing. I just went to an event in where was I at? Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
I may have danced about 100 times.
Ooh, Lord.
And I just left Chicago, where I was home and had a blast, dancing. And then when people see you, that you move to the back of the room, they know not to dance with your instructor or not.
Yeah, that's
so true. It's just some things, unfortunately, ladies go looking nice, but they can't get a dance.
I was telling somebody, we had this big thing about women asking men to dance, and that's all good, and they were like, I said, yeah, but I know men say it's hard for them to be turned down, but for women, it's like hard for us to be turned down. So they were like, you've never been turned down for a dance. The hell I haven't. Yes, I have. Actually, I really have. And that is like, because dancing for me is, therapy. It's my release from working hard all week. And for you to say, oh, come on, let's dance. And they'd be like, no. Okay. So I don't like it.
Trina, ain't nobody turning you down to dance, girl. As pretty as you be looking. Ain't nobody ask you to turn you down. Don't believe that.
They'll tell me no in a minute. I want to give you the opportunity, Geno, to mention anything that you may have coming up. What are you doing now? What's happening? I know you're a father, but what else are we doing?
Well, I do a very exciting event. It's called the Dance Explosion. And this is going to be my 5th year. Even during the height of the pandemic in January, I had it at about 800 some people in the party. So basically what I do is I bought the whole hotel. The whole hotel is completely mine from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, until 8 o'clock on Sunday. Nothing but dancing. January the 26th through the 30th. I got a couple of my DJs on right now, waving at you, saying hello to you. DJ Tony Nix out of Chicago, Lorenzo. A lot of people, they come. It's just a great time. It's like cruising on land.
Wow.
Old hotel, buy it in 4 days of interrupted dancing.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
So you might have to come up there and do some commentary.
I'm gonna have to come up there and do some commentary.
And it's not just stepping.
When in Houston, ain't nobody ever asked me to come and bring Chat with Trina to the show. I'm gonna have to come all the way to Chicago and do that.
There you go. Well, this is in Dallas.
Oh, that's even better.
Yes. It's in Dallas, January the 26th through the 30th.
Let me look. Let me think. I did see.
And it's I call it Dance Explosion because I got 3 or 4 different places, and it's not restricted to Chicago stepping. I know people see Geno and they think, oh, they stepping. No, it's dance.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've got to ask this question.
You thought so?
Sets. I'm trying to remember the question that where we have the controversy. So sets. Yes. So I don't know about anywhere else, but I know where we live, there's an issue with this word sets, stepper sets. Now, from what I've been told, what I've chatted with someone else, that a set just means a party. And it doesn't just mean for steppers. What is a set in Geno's, from Geno, the maestro?
Okay. Okay, let me quantify and help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
The reason people start putting DFW before swing, so people can understand it's DFW swing.
Mm-hmm.
When people start putting Houston two-step, they said Houston, so you know two-step.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you in Houston, they don't got to say Houston two-step. You can just say what? I'm going to two-step, and people know what you're talking about.
Right.
So the word set is synonymous with the dance in Chicago. If I'm in Chicago and I say, man, I'm going to go to the set.
Gotcha.
People not saying, oh, you're going to the stepper set.
Uh-huh.
They already know you're referring to steppers. So people put these, what is it called? You're the teacher. Precursoraries, that's the word I'm trying to use, before the word to give it validation. So when people say steppers set, you know they're saying this is for steppers. So they have to be careful. A lot of people don't understand the history.
Yeah.
So therefore they're getting caught. If I see something on the flyer that says stepper set, in my mind, it's a true stepper set. If I walk in there and I'm getting 45 minutes of line dancing and 30 minutes of Houston two steps for conversation purposes, then that's not a stepper set.
Gotcha.
What they should say is, we have a set tonight. And then bracket includes Houston two steps, steppers, line dance. Then I know, but if you tell me stepper set,
you in that
I know what that is.
To step music.
That's what stepper set means.
Gotcha.
So maybe they should use the word set. So hopefully that helped you.
Yes, I love the way you broke that down. Really good. Cynthia asked, is there a workshop at the Dance Explosion?
Yes.
There will be there'll be several, or?
There will be, this year there were going to be 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So Cynthia, you got your questions answered. That question answered. Thank you for tuning in.
Cynthia, go to www.dallasd.com.
www.dallasd.com.
Yes, that's Dallas DEE, abbreviation for Dance Explosion Expo.
Gotcha. Okay.
DallasDEE.com.
She says, okay. Thanks, Cynthia.
Absolutely.
Do you have any last words to leave for us, Geno?
I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you doing great. And you're still looking beautiful. Keep doing what you're doing. You're pushing forward. And thank you for having me on. And
thank you.
Thank
you so much. And when you come through Houston, you can tell me. I won't tell nobody.
Okay. I think I still have your number now. Have you changed your number?
My number is not changed at all.
Okay, then I still got your number. So I'm gonna make sure I call, and yeah, I'm still gonna give you that look. If you know anything about me, let me get close to the camera. When I'm dancing with you and you see me do this, when I give you that look like this.
What does it mean, Geno?
I never, all my students know, they probably laughing. I never say anything when I'm dancing. I never try to recorrect somebody when I'm dancing, because that's bad for me. I never do that, but I'm gonna give you
that look. Now, you know you do better than this.
Yes.
That's
okay.
It. I got it. Free, sneaking my free lessons so I can go somewhere and show them what I did. Well,
that I can do for you.
Yeah, I've been practicing with Geno. You know him. I
Consider
can't wait
that
for you
done.
to have your workshop, though. In all seriousness.
I'm gonna come. They've been asking me, so I'm about to do a workshop.
Good. Thanks, Joycelyn Kidd. She says, get your tickets for the Dallas Dance Explosion in January. You are in for a treat. Yay. You got some folks on here doing some promotion. And I will definitely post it as well. So Geno, thank you. This was great. I really good. I really appreciate the information. And it's great seeing you and great talking to you. Guys out there, thank y'all for making the choice to click in. And don't forget to go to youtube.com/chatwithtrina. And I need you to subscribe, and then click the little bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video. Bye, Geno.
Bye-bye.
And congrats to your baby girl.
Thank you.
Wow, Geno, thank you so much for taking the time out of what I know is a super busy day and a super busy life to talk to little old Trina. I really appreciate chatting with you tonight. The information you gave was really transparent, honest, and I just thank you so much for chatting with me tonight. Guys, make sure you go to youtube.com/chatwithtrina, subscribe, and then hit the little bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video.